So morning loves, just begin on your mats as you wish, seated or lying down. And just checking in how you're feeling. Scan through your body, just noticing if there's anything that feels tight, tender, whatever you've been up to the day before. Any little niggles or twinges, just being aware through your practice. And if you need to come out of a pose or adjust a pose, that's absolutely fine. And just gently maybe closing your eyes for a few moments, and we'll ground ourselves into this moment. Maybe take a breath and a long sigh. So whatever's been going on for you, and we've always all got something going on. Let's just enjoy this moment, this practice that we have. It's that sort of maybe the very few times that we get in our week or our day to just be comfortable with ourselves and explore ourselves and just nurture in whatever way we need to. Just taking a few breaths and just follow the in and the exhale for a few rounds. And noticing the breath in the nose. And every time you exhale, maybe your shoulders just soften a little bit. Maybe the muscles through your back just give and aren't so tight. And we feel our nervous system settle. We're not so active and hyper. Becoming calm. And just have a moment to observe what you might need from your day today. Whether it is quiet time, whether it is conversation, stimulating or connecting with people. What do you need? What are you drawn to enhancing your day? So we're going to come up for some Zazen meditation. If you're lying down, just have a moment, hug in. If you're already seated, maybe you just want to roll the shoulders, gentle flex in the body, whatever feels right to just get into that seated position. Rolling the head. And when you're ready, just joining me seated. I think we'll have some quiet meditation time today. If you wish to recite a mantra in your mind or to count, I'll leave that up to you. Otherwise, just maybe sitting and observing your breath. And when the mind wanders and the thoughts come in, don't berate yourself, just notice that it's happened and maybe just come back to the breath, and we gradually find that kind of gap between where the thoughts take us. So we'll do this for about 5 minutes. I'll pop the timer on. So just get into a relaxed, comfortable position. Start by following your breath. And then just explore what the rest of the time here brings. enjoying the breath. Not controlling the thoughts, just being the conscious witness. Just witnessing the mind. And just taking a few more breaths. And we can just gently blink our eyes open. How do you feel? Just noticing whether that was a very calming practice or whether the mind was very busy. Each day is different. So we're going to come into caterpillar today. So seated forward bend. And because I've had a little bit of sciatica recently, I'm going to be very gentle and use a blanket underneath the knees. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. Otherwise, just having your legs extended in front of you. And when you're ready, just exploring the fold forward. And whatever you're challenged with or coping with at the moment, pain or twinges in the body, just being very gentle. Often I say go to sort of 70% of a pose, but perhaps actually sort of 30% if you need to just gently ease into a posture. And just trying to relax any muscle tension that you notice. And breathing to your belly. It might take time to soften into this pose. And gradually letting go through the shoulders and the neck. And it's not about getting into the perfect pose or looking like the right shape. It's really about what the pose does and to reveal other things within you. What thoughts come up? What do you notice? What emotions surface? Can you relax your face? Notice if the pose has become soft enough to move a bit further into it. And if that feels right. Keep looking for tension. And then we'll just take one more breath in this position. Gently, really slowly lifting up, listening to what the body feels like as we come out of this pose. We'll lie down. And even as you move into Shavasana, just being really mindful of every part of the body that you move. And just taking the time to relax here, sometimes it takes a fair few breaths to feel safe enough to just let the muscles go, soften through the spine, especially the lower back. How do you feel on all levels, in all respects? Just checking through for anything else that still feels tight. And then we'll gradually draw the knees in, one at a time, nice little rock and a hug. And if you want to, just lift the head up. It's a nice stretch for the back. And then we're going to roll up and then come onto our bellies for seal. So having come forward with caterpillar, we'll counterpose with seal. So just coming into this sort of sphinx-like position. If you do need to take your elbows a little bit wider, you can do. And actually today, and I often do, I'm going to just support under the chest. It's really nice to use as many props as you want to. There's no limit to how much you can or can't use, and the more it makes you relax and sort of not have to hold on to muscular tension, it really is better. And so if you've got a block and you want to just bring the forehead down, you can. Just feeling how that feels in your lower back, lumbar spine. Relaxing your legs. Notice if your buttocks are tight. Have a nice sigh. Relax. Just letting the body stretch. If at any moment this doesn't feel right or it's getting uncomfortable, please adjust or even just exit the pose. So take a scan from head all the way down the body. Just keep looking for any areas you can release. And this pose lends itself to breathing deeply into the belly. How does this feel against the mat and into our lower back? And observing all your thoughts and feelings. Can you stand back and be the conscious observer? What's going through your mind right now? When you're ready, one more breath. And slowly, let's find our way back on the mat. Keeping your blocks handy if you have used one, we're going to come into heart bench next. So I'm just going to have them closer. So lying down, how does that feel? Counterposing caterpillar with seal. Which one feels nicer, or do they both have different sort of benefits in the body? Taking your time just to let everything melt and relax. And following any chi sensations in the body as well. Coolness, tingling. Noticing your breath, whether it feels quite steady and deep. So let's hug our knees in if probably those sensations have just drifted away. Have a moment here. Sometimes it's nice to rock really slowly, or maybe it feels good to roll in circles. And then when you're ready, we'll just roll up to seated with your two blocks, coming into heart bench. So with caterpillar and seal, you're going to feel it sort of more in your lumbar. This one really has a nice effect on the thoracic, so upper part of the body. When you're ready, as always, just take a few moments to lie back, find the position that is the most comfortable today for you. Each time's different. Sometimes I like it slightly lower down the back, and then other times it just feels better to be maybe sort of a centimetre higher, or not even that. You'll know when it feels right for the moment. And then just resting your head on the other one. Sometimes you might feel like your shoulders are really heavy and you get that lovely kind of arch over this block, and other times the sensation isn't as deep. Noticing the lower back should be quite sort of a nice comfortable position. Relaxing your buttocks and legs. Breathing deeply, feeling that block behind you, but it does become more comfortable. Sometimes that block, the firmness behind your back, can feel quite nice, almost like somebody when you have a massage and it's quite sort of, and people getting quite deep where it's tender or very sort of tight for you. It's that block has that same sort of effect. So if your eyes are gently closed, you can focus on your breath. Try and relax the neck. The chin might tuck in. And with that, you might naturally fall into Ujjayi breath. It's a lovely pose for Ujjayi. That noisy breath. How do you feel? Just check in with your emotions, especially as this is very heart-centered and throat-centered, how we communicate how we feel. Anything that's felt a little bit difficult emotionally, we can often process in this posture. So we'll just take a few more breaths. Enjoy these last few moments here. And just feeling how it feels to be here. We're going to lift the head and then lift the body, coming down once we've moved the blocks. Just engage a little in the belly as you come up. And then coming down and enjoying the after effect. Often this is the best bit, I find sometimes, is that relaxation afterwards, just feeling whatever you feel. Notice if some poses it's quicker to relax through your back than others. There are certain poses I know it takes ages for things to soften, and in others it just feels quite easy to just relax. Deep breaths. Just watching that deep sensation in the back, upper back, fade away now. Noticing whatever else radiates away from that point where the block was. And then we'll hug our knees in. We're going to come into banana next. So we've come forwards, backwards, and worked the spine. It's nice to come into a side stretch. So a little nice rock on the back here. And then bringing the legs back down. We'll go to the right. So bringing feet to the lower right corner, right foot over left. Gently release through the buttocks and then just shuffle the shoulders top right. Only come as much as you want to. And if you have got sort of twinges in your spine, being very sort of gentle to get into a comfy position here. And then you can place arms wherever you want to, either raised above the head. This just gives you a little bit more of an added stretch. Or cactus arms, that's lovely across the top of the chest, collarbone area. Or if you're most happy just with your arms by your side, then you can come back here. Trying to relax around the buttocks and lower back. And if you've come into the posture and it feels a bit too intense, then just sort of shift your shoulders. Come out just a little bit. Notice if your tummy rumbles. We've been working our digestive system. So how do you feel? What do you feel? Where do you feel it? Keep looking through the body for anywhere that you can just release the tension. Just check your shoulders are relaxed and away from the ears. Is it more comfortable to have your arms slightly wider? You relax more through the elbows and lower arms and wrists? And as you breathe, just noticing all the parts of the body that move. How it feels in the waist and the chest. Keep just checking in with your neck and whether there is tension, and as you drop the chin, whether that softens. And then rotate your awareness back to the lower back, the sides of your waist and the buttocks. just in case there's any tightness there. And then we'll just take one more breath. Really slowly, just uncrossing your feet. Find neutral spine. And noticing what's going on. If you need to just sort of rock your pelvis a little bit, just to ease anything there, or wag your tail, then you can. Whatever feels comfortable. And then just finding a stillness. Where do you feel coolness or heat or tingling? Banana's a lovely one for the gallbladder especially, but that also links with the liver. So if you feel coldness on the inner thighs or the inner knees, then we're targeting those meridians. So I'm going to bring my knees in just for a little hug before we come into the other side. It just sort of changes the feel of the body as we approach the other side with a curiosity. Just rocking on your back if you need to. And then we'll come down again. So over to the left this time, and then left foot over the right ankle. Again, I just sort of tend to release the buttocks after I've moved the legs, shuffle the shoulders over, only as much as you want to. You don't have to make this an intense posture. And then arms again, wherever you want. It's nice just to sort of move them up and explore, does it feel right today to stretch this much? Or cactus. You might feel quite a deep stretch across this clavicle area of the body. And you might find when you move your arms that you become more tense in the lower body. So if you prefer arms just relaxed to the side, you can. Relaxing buttocks, sides of the waist, lower back. And if there are any differences with this side, whether there's anything that's really standing out that you notice. Loosening the pose if you need to. And you might have like a few little rumbles in your tummy, working with the liver, the gallbladder. It's all targeting this digestive energy in our body. Kidneys are stimulated here too. So trying to relax through the neck, shoulders. How does this pose feel for you today? Noticing your thoughts. Relaxing the buttocks. Just see if there's anything else you can let go through your lower back. It might be so minute, the adjustment, but you'll notice it. Observe if your belly and the breath feels tight, or whether that can be quite loose and expansive. How does this pose feel for you? Is it something you're enjoying, or just tolerating? Or does it get easier? Feeling the breath a little bit more into the right side of your body than the left. And then gently, when you're ready, we'll take one more breath. Nice conscious breath. Uncrossing your legs and just finding neutral spine very gently. And just letting everything come back into alignment, resetting. Again, if you need to just sort of rock your pelvis or wag your tail a little bit, just to find some comfort here and relaxing again in neutral spine. Notice how that pose feels, because we often do banana, and it's sometimes quite a very gentle and simple posture. But just wondering how it feels for you today. So I'm going to bring the knees in. Let's draw in for a nice hug. Take your time here to rock, roll, or sort of zigzag from the tailbone upwards. And if you really want to hug the knees in, lift the head up to feel a little bit more of the mid back against the mat, then that feels nice. And so we'll come into waterfall as our last posture. I like to use a little cushion for this under the buttocks. So when you're ready, either a cushion or a blanket, whatever you have to hand, just a little roll up, wedge it underneath, and it just gives you that lovely little bit of support in raising the legs. You can put a blanket over your feet if you want to. You don't have to have your legs straight. A nice, gentle, generous bend can be comfortable. And we'll relax here. We can tuck the chin in very gently. And if our eyes are closed, we can just draw our awareness to our third eye. If you have anything to lean your feet against a wall, then that's even better. Notice if you have a little shake in your legs. How does your nervous system feel today? And as you lie here, maybe you can just draw your awareness to your face, relaxing the forehead, your eyebrows and the muscles around your eyes, softening consciously through the cheeks and the jaw. Let the mouth open, relaxing lips. Noticing your breath. Are your hands and wrists relaxed? Noticing how this feels, whether it's something you enjoy. Most people love this pose, but some people don't. It can actually, they can feel sort of a discomfort in their thighs. So you don't have to hold it longer than you wish. But it's nice if you can to breathe deep to the belly, enjoy how the chest expands. Feel how the back spreads against the mat with each breath. And so we'll take one more breath, gently lowering the feet down. Popping the cushion to the side and then find Shavasana. Nice and slowly, being gentle with each leg as you come down to the mat. And a nice deep breath and a sigh. Let everything soften. So today we've had a stretch forwards, backwards, in two places, stimulating lower back and upper back. Come into a lovely sort of side stretch with banana and a gentle inversion. So the only move we haven't really made through the planes of the body is a twist. But in all other ways we've moved. But it's time to relax now. So just coming into whatever shape, posture you want to, staying on the floor with a blanket over you or rolling up to seated. Whatever feels right. Popping over a blanket. Even if it's not cold, it's sometimes nice just to have a little bit of fabric around you. It's like a cozy, like you're giving yourself a little cuddle. When I do this and I have a blanket around me and I don't know, I like to think about the angels or connect with angelic energy. I feel like I've wrapped their wings around me, which is a nice little feeling. I'm going to take a card, having mentioned little angels, so I always like to just explore what message we might need today. It may or may not resonate. It might just be something that you end up pondering, and something makes sense another time. So let's spread them out, close my eyes, take one. And I always like to think that whatever we've been given is the right thing to hear today. So desire. So this says, it's a good time to give birth to new ideas and situations in your life. I'm watching over you, guiding you and protecting you during these changes. You are ripe with new possibilities, and you feel an urgency to push into new territory. Beloved one, your new and exciting life changes are inevitable. There is no turning back. Instead of playing it safe, you decide to move forward. That is why I'm with you right now, giving you the extra courage and comfort that you need. However, there is no need to rush. This time of incubation, where nature can allow everything to grow in innate rhythm. Be assured that your life change will hatch at just the right moment. In the meantime, know that God and the angels are watching over you. You are safe and very loved. Congratulations on the birth of this new period of your life. So an interesting one to think about, a new idea or a situation. Perhaps not immediate, but is incubating in its ideas or thoughts. So just have some lovely quiet time now. Relax and just enjoy your breath and having this space to yourself. Having a few more moments to relax in this space. And notice perhaps how quiet or still you are, or maybe how busy the mind is. Just observing without judgment. How do you feel? Can you ask yourself and get a feeling or an internal response? And so very gently we'll come back into our day. Start with a few breaths. And then beginning to move fingers, toes, rock the head. Gentle movement, and then if you're lying down and you want to have a nice big stretch, if you're already seated and you want to roll the shoulders and just move a little bit more, come back into the body. Gentle flex. Enjoying the breath a few more times while we're conscious of it before the rest of the day takes over, and perhaps we're not. There may be a few fleeting moments where we come back and perhaps notice just 2 rounds of breath. And the beauty of being on our mat is that we can become so much more conscious of ourselves and life. So rolling up to seated. Notice if you are reluctant to come out of this, or whether you're actually looking forward to your day. Just observe the energies, the vibration, and then we'll bring our hands together, heart center. Om Shanti. Namaste.